Welcome everyone to Jen's Joyful Kitchen, a weekly cooking show to help you in the kitchen. I'm Jen Haugen and I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist. I'm also a Pampered Chef consultant and I'm a paid nutrition advisor with the Calorie Control Council. Today I'm going to be sharing with you the most important thing to look at on a food label. Also, how to find added sugars in your food. And then I'm going to share with you how to make a simple and delicious salad dressing that's lower in sugar and lower in calories that you can use all season long. So let's get started. The first thing that I get asked a lot is, how do you know what to look for on a nutrition label? So I'm going to teach you that right now. When you have a label, and this is a salad dressing label, what you want to look for first is really that portion size. So how much is the label actually being based on? So for example, for this one, the serving size is 2 tablespoons. If you eat more than that, of course you need to adjust the rest of the nutrients there. If you eat less than that, you also need to adjust it. But that's the most important thing to look at on the nutrition label because that's what everything on there is based on. After you find that, you're going to just look at calories and then all the other important nutrients to you. So that might be things like fat and sodium. It might also be total carbohydrates, especially if you are diabetic or you're watching how much total carbohydrates you are taking in. And when you're looking at those, what you want to keep in mind is that when it's less than 5%, it's meaning that it's low in that. If it's more than 20%, it means that it's high in that. So depending on the nutrient, you might want something lower or you might want something higher. So keep that in mind when you see that daily value percentage. Then, now, how do you find out how many added sugars or if there's added sugars in your product that you're purchasing? That is much more simple now as the new nutrition labels have now designated a spot for added sugars. So previously, it always just listed total carbohydrates and then sugar content, total sugar content, without knowing is that natural or is it added to the product. But now there's a next line that says added sugars. So for example, this one has a total carbohydrate of 7 grams. Total sugars is 6 grams and it includes 6 grams of added sugar because that's where a lot of extra calories come in, or if you're trying to monitor carbohydrates for diabetes, then you need to reduce that. So that's where this can be really helpful to know. So now that we know how to read a label, we know how to find added sugars, how do you make a simple salad dressing that can actually be lower in sugar? So I'm going to teach you that right now. I have a recipe that you can find on caloriecontrol.org. You can find a bunch of other recipes there as well. And this is one of them. It's a strawberry romaine salad. So what I've got right here is fresh cut strawberries. I've got some red onions that I've already cut up, and then on a bed of dark leafy romaine lettuce. The darker the better with your lettuce, because that's going to help you get more nutrients. And when you're swapping in, through the seasons, think about what you can change that fruit to. In place of strawberries, you could do dried cranberries for fall. In the winter, you could do the clementines. You can vary it in the summer to maybe raspberries. So think about all the variations you can do. And then to the top of that, we're going to add some slivered almonds. You can also swap out whatever kind of nut you like as well. I do encourage you to try nuts on your salad. It offers a great crunch. It offers great extra nutrients like fat and different vitamins that come with that. So we have our salad. Now, how do you make a simple dressing that's lower in carbohydrates and sugars? Well, I'm going to use one of my favorite tools. It's a Pampered Chef tool called the Measure, Mix, and Pour. And in this, there's actually a few ingredients already. I've got my milk in there, I've got my vinegar in there, and my poppy seeds in there. All I have left to do is add my light mayonnaise, and I'm just going to push this in. This is an easy way to measure that because then I don't have to worry about trying to scrape it out, right? And then, last but not least, I'm going to add some low-calorie sweetener in place of the sugar. So I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of stevia. This is the spoonable stevia, plus 1 teaspoon. So you're going to do 2 tablespoons plus 1 teaspoon. And that's going to add sweetness, but no calories. So isn't that awesome? So then we just pop our top on here and we just plunge the whisk inside. You can see how that's working. And this is our homemade, lightened up poppy seed dressing. This is a great recipe to use on all of your salads. The creamy poppy seed dressing lightened up with the low-calorie sweetener. And you can find this recipe on caloriecontrol.org.